Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel. This is a political channel that seeks to give an in-depth analysis and open your third eye on Kenyan politics by giving you a different perspective about the politics. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification button for more of our videos. Today, we are going to talk about Ruto's interview by Sophia Wanuna and Zubeda Kananu, in which Ruto is accusing his boss of being responsible for the extrajudicial killings, not by so many words, but by the inference and what he said. A question was posed to Ruto by Hafton Irungu of the Amnesty International about extrajudicial killings and why Ruto has been silent ever since they got the Uhuru duo got to power in 2013 until recently, when we were approaching the election. That's when he started talking about the extrajudicial killings. And Ruto's response was he has always spoken to the Director of National Intelligence when he could pick his call, inferring that at some point the Director of National Intelligence stopped picking his calls. And also, Uhuru Kenyatta excluded him 3 years ago from the National Security Council because he was asking the tough and uncomfortable questions about the extrajudicial killings. If you're watching this broadcast, or rather discussion, and you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly please subscribe. Kindly please just take a moment of your time, subscribe and hit the notification button so that you don't miss our next video. Kindly please. Before we continue with this discussion, I would love the viewers to watch and listen keenly to what Ruto said in this excerpt done by Sophia Wanuna and Zubeda Kananu of KTN. Please, let's watch it. Thank you.
Every year, over 150 young men are unlawfully killed by our police officers in extrajudicial killings. In the previous year, we saw the increase go up by 20%. In the 2017 period between the two elections, we saw up to 50 people shot and killed by police officers, and we saw 204 women raped, some of them gang raped during that process, and 50% of the perpetrators were police officers. You were silent throughout the 9 years of your tenure on this issue. Did you ever have a concern during that period? And why is this now a concern for Kenya Kwanza? And if you are elected as the fifth president of the republic, how will you tackle this menace? Or will we continue to see God's rivers and God's forests polluted with dead bodies?
For your information, Hilton, that is something that is very close to my heart. And I have, within government, if you spoke to the Director of Intelligence, and I am saying it because I know somebody is listening somewhere, these are issues I have raised with him when he could still pick my phone, right? These are the things that I had serious concerns about what was happening in many parts of our country, in Moyale, and I remember even calling him one time and telling him, really? I mean, it cannot have gotten here, right? I have raised those issues. And I have raised many other issues concerning extrajudicial killing. Until 3 years ago, the president excluded me from attending the National Security Council because I asked tough questions about schemes of murder and things. So it's not something that I just woke up to today. It is something that has concerned me a lot. And that is why I have put it in, or we have put it in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, that extrajudicial killing must come to an end. It is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it offends every principle of right to life. And you remember, I made that statement yesterday, for example, in Moyale, and I said, every criminal, however serious, must be taken to court, must be processed through court. If these people are criminals of whatever nature, chronic, terrorists, whatever, there's a process, you know? And it's the only surest way that we don't kill innocent people. It is the only way we stop killing innocent people. Because in this cloud of extrajudicial killing, oh, he's a terrorist, oh, he's this, that's why he was shot, that's why he was this, you will end up with many innocent people being shot and labeled terrorist or criminal or something. So my position is very clear that whatever the issues, we must continuously refine our criminal justice system to make sure that up until we are sure that this is a declared criminal, everybody has been notified, and if in the process of trying to apprehend such person, the police feel they are in danger, or he actually endangers the lives of our security agencies, that's the only time maybe police can use live fire on these people.
Right.
But up until that time, I am against, and I have taken up a firm position, and I have told you that for the last almost 4 years, I have not attended the National Security Council because of some of the questions I asked, which I don't believe in.
All right. Thank you very much.
Now, there you have it. That's the video. And the Deputy President says he also called for an end to the said killings. Effects and implications of all these talk of being excluded from the National Security Council by his boss are many. Number one, Ruto has effectively placed the blame of extrajudicial killings on Uhuru and the National Security Council. And that's the reason why they excluded him from the meetings. He has also implicated the Director of National Intelligence by saying he severally called him. And at some point, he refused to pick his calls. Ruto is blaming everyone but himself in this explanation. In conclusion, ironically, earlier on, when he was asked about their relationship with Uhuru, he said he was humiliated. He has suffered a great deal from Uhuru and his men. The humiliation that he suffered, no one could have ever persevered. He said, contrary to popular belief, he has been very patient and has never insulted Uhuru Kenyatta. He at some point confronted Uhuru about the said insults he has been accused of, and Uhuru could not produce any evidence to prove it, he said. He also said that the clergy tried to bring them together. They called him and called Uhuru, asking them to meet and sort out their differences under the watch of the clergy, but an adamant Uhuru refused. The conclusion of this analysis and inferences from Ruto's talk of his exclusion from the national intelligence is, ironically, earlier on, when he was asked about their relationship with Uhuru, he said he was humiliated and suffered a great deal from Uhuru and his men. He suffered humiliation that no one could ever have persevered. He said, contrary to popular belief, he has been very patient and has never insulted Uhuru Kenyatta. He, at some point, confronted Uhuru about the said insult. He says, Uhuru could not produce any evidence to prove it. He also said that the clergy tried to bring them together. They called Uhuru Kenyatta, asking them to meet and sort out their differences, but an adamant Uhuru refused. In effect, Ruto is telling us that, look, I am not part of the National Security Council. Ask your president who chairs it. Now, what all this means is that, number one, Ruto is blaming Uhuru for their fallout and for not making efforts to reconcile and resolve their differences. Number two, Ruto is saying it's Uhuru who planned and executed the extrajudicial killings with the help of the National Security Council, and that's why they could not take his tough questions and opted to exclude him from the meetings. Number three, Ruto, a member of the National Security Council, is absolving himself from blame when he says Uhuru excluded him from the National Security Council over 3 years ago because he asked the tough questions, and so he is not part of the said extrajudicial killings done by the security forces. Since that body is the one that plans and executes the killings and is chaired by him. So go ask him. Finally, if this is actually true, Ruto is actually threatening national security, and that's treason by any standards. And again, if not true, it is still threatening national security and still treason. And in any democracy, Ruto should be in jail for that statement. Someone needs to stop him by all means. But the question is, who is going to do it? I know this is a bit controversial, but someone had to say it, and I just did. I will leave it for you, the viewer, to decide whether this is a correct interpretation of what Ruto said or not. Please comment and share your thoughts, as I would really love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and hit the notification button. I would not be doing this if it were not for you. Thank you so much.